The white with us tonight is the same elder frostworm who visited us last year, and he's glad to see our fight for survival has advanced and wishes us well in our reconquista. He chose this story tonight to hear our thoughts on a possible narrative shift. That's why I like the Go Free lexicon approach of you can't win with facts, you can't win by explaining things to people, whether they're rich and privileged or the common man in the working class. Most people are just obedient order followers that only care about basic things. So you have to appeal to them on a baseline emotional response level because feelings don't care about your facts. And if you make this about, look, we're being attacked and victimized, it's wrong. It's wrong to be anti-white. Then that I think has much more potential to reach and influence people of any strata than other approaches. And we're kind of at a critical mass point where it's shit or get off the pot time, or our civilization's toast. So that's why I really support the Go Free stuff that I push all the time.
I agree. The Go Free method that Jason created, it's very good for those who are, let's say, starting to notice patterns but can't quite put it together. The Go Free lexicon is great for that, and I have used Jason Kuhn's lexicon for quite big influencers in different markets, such as let's say the manosphere. I've been using this content quite well with
Mm-hmm.
with a few very influential people there. But I'm saying for the general public, quite frankly, if I were to quote our favorite South African monarchist here, the only way these people will change is if you take the ring, seize the power, and impose your will against these people with uncompromising brutality
Well,
and
but where does
nothingness.
that come from, though, Kizza? You can't get that kind of force with hyper individualism and people who don't even see themselves as a people, as a race. And that's
Oh,
where I think we really need to start, is making people feel like they are part of a people who's being victimized, and we need to fight because we're in this together. And I think people of every strata can be affected by this lexiconal approach, because if you, let's say that you are in front of somebody running for local office, someone who's privileged and wealthy, and if you come at them with all these facts and revisionist history and stuff, they're not going to give a shit. But when you approach them on a direct emotional level with language they can't easily defeat and say, when you get into office, you need to not be anti-white. I'm tired of the people that have always had your seat erasing my people by bringing in biological elements, foreigners, people of different religions that shouldn't be here. You are white erasing the people who are supposed to be here. If you're anti-white, I'll hold your feet to the fire. That is a baseline emotional thing that person will remember. And they can't have an easy argument against it. What are they going to say? No, I think it's good to white erase you. Well, then you have record of them being blatantly anti-white and you can use it against them. If they hedge or they're willing to give ground, good. When you find mush, you push. And that's why I think that this lexiconal approach can work at every strata. And it has, by the way. Like we've had victories all across the board, getting media companies to change headlines, getting schools to change material. It's very successful. It's good at emotionally pressuring people in the way that regular people, and especially those who are obedient to the moral order, you can affect them and force them on the back foot with this approach. And that's why I think it's
I,
good.
I agree in principle, yes, but here's the thing: the threat of extreme always triggers an emotional response. And the thing is,
Okay, well,
even
where does
people
that
who are
come from,
broke,
though, Kizza?
it has to come from within. Or you people are gonna have to be willing to use such, quite frankly.
Right. And where does the will and the association come from before you get to that point? People have to see themselves as a people who are being victimized and are willing to band together. It doesn't come from lone wolf vision. It doesn't come from terrorists blowing. It doesn't come from that. We've had that for 100 years. It hasn't done anything good for us. If anything, it's hurt us. You have to have many people backed with money on different strata and have people who identify with the cause strong enough to lay their lives and livelihood of their families on the line. We won't have that unless we have people who are part of an ethnicity, a race, something they believe in, and look at each other as a larger family. We don't have much of that yet, and we certainly don't have people of higher strata willing to back that kind of thing. So that's why I say you can talk about the necessity of violence, but it won't happen unless you actually have people who see themselves as part of a people first. And that's why I think that the Go Free stuff has to come first and be a part of whatever it is we build and do. Because if we are actually going to have real countries again and a real ethnic racial identity that matters, we have to see ourselves as a people, and will have to see that and feel that strong enough to lay their livelihoods on the line and take risks for it. And right now, that's very few people, especially at the higher strata.